I have to introduce a new character. Merry Christmas, all. And a Happy New Year.
It's not even Thanksgiving yet.
Creep 2 is directed by Patrick Brice and it stars Mark Duplass and Desiree Akhavan. And it tells the story of the titular creep once again.
This time named Aaron.
Now going by the name of Aaron. In the first movie it was Joseph. It tells the story of him now hiring a YouTuber who investigates weird people on the internet.
And can't get comfortable because
kind
of all these
of exploits weird people on the internet in a way. And he hires her to make a documentary about his life as a serial killer because he's kind of hit rock bottom in a way.
Yeah, he's not enjoying killing people anymore.
He's down on his luck, he's hitting kind of a midlife crisis, so he hires her to try and spice things up a bit. I have thoughts on this one, and it's hard to figure out where to start.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I have very mixed feelings.
I don't have mixed feelings necessarily, but this is a very different film than the first one in a bunch of different ways.
Not all of them are good, though.
I'll start with this. On one hand, this film is interesting because, on one hand, it's a bit creepier now because you know his modus operandi and you know how he works.
But on the other hand, it was just objectively a funnier movie.
It's very heavier on the it's a lot heavier on the comedic tone this time, for sure, like without a doubt. But at the same time, it trades that out. And while yes, the comedy is a lot more heavy-handed, the unpredictability of this film really is like at an all-time high, I felt. Because there was not a single point in this movie where I knew what was going to happen. Because both of these characters play off each other so well.
See, I disagree with you there. I saw her playing off him coming, and therefore I thought this movie was a lot more predictable.
I completely disagree with you, because I mean, aside from the fact that you're seeing a totally different aspect of his personality, you're seeing more of the depression and less of the mania this time. But you're also watching her play into his weird fantasy to a point where she is kind of getting lost in it. For sure.
Yeah, no, she is, but again...
And she doesn't know how much of what he's saying is real, and neither do we as an audience, which is good, because, again, like I said, you know him from the first movie, so you know...
He's a fucking pathological liar.
Yeah. What did you like about this movie?
I thought that a lot of the dialogue was very good.
Yes.
I like the... I want to call it exposition, even though we're not knowing if he's lying or not, but I liked the exposition that we got.
Yeah, you definitely do get an insight into his character, for sure. Like, his defenses are down in a lot of this movie, and so you get to see a lot more of him as being vulnerable and being open. I found the chemistry between the two of them very good.
Yeah, no, so did I. They both worked very well together. I think, actually, arguably better than the...
I agree. I completely agree with you.
Than the original two.
And again, like I said, I think a lot of that comes from the unpredictability of... Their relationship is very interesting. Because, yeah, she is kind of exploiting him in a way. But he is also kind of exploiting her. And it's a very symbiotic relationship in a weird way.
And you're not wrong. I again, disagree with the unpredictability.
Really?
I thought this movie was much... I knew where it was going pretty much from jump.
The entire climax, I had no idea where it was going. Because I genuinely didn't know.
I think it was supposed to be that he didn't know what he was going to be doing.
But that's the thing. He was so caught off guard by how much he actually kind of liked her that, as a viewer, I felt more off kilter. Because if he doesn't even know what he's doing, I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do.
The first movie, I had no idea what was going on. This one...
That's interesting. It's like vice versa. Yeah. That's really fascinating.
I could kind of see how it was going to go.
Okay, that's pretty cool. That's the main thing I was going to touch on, the climax and the fact that he's very fucking lost in this film. And like I said, he's going through a bit of a midlife crisis, and seeing those aspects of his character and seeing him really vulnerable and seeing how his mind works and how he's been just like totally spiraling out of control. And this is what I was saying I was going to touch on. I think that's due to the fact that the way he talks about Aaron in the first movie. I think that a lot of the way he's feeling in this film is due to the fact that Aaron was so like Aaron was his peak. And after that there's nowhere to go but down.
No, I don't disagree with you. I think you're entirely correct there. I think that is what it was trying to go for.
He considered Aaron his peak, and since then he's just been feeling very empty. And I think that's a really cool way to take this story, and I'm really interested to see where they take it from here, because there is going to be a Creep 3.
I think that there are very interesting things that could be done with a third movie, more as a direct continuation rather than an anthology sort of thing.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I don't think they're going to go anthology route. We're getting way off base here.
Yeah.
In terms of dislikes, I felt that the comedic tone both detracted and also added something. It was a mixed bag for me in terms of the comedy, because there were parts where I was laughing out loud, and there were parts where I felt that the comedy was kind of taking away from the unease that could have been there.
See, I didn't have any of the unease this time around because the comedy was so heavy-handed.
It was very... Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I felt that the comedy was detracting from the discomfort that could have been there.
I
not
literally didn't have any discomfort at all this time around. Minus the one elongated penis shot. Just because that... Wow, that was like 10 seconds
yeah,
of no
you get a
dialogue
lot of dick in this movie.
Which, that... Nudity equality. Let's go for it. I agree with you, but it was just like, wow, that is a long-standing shot.
Long shot of a dick. Yeah, no, I definitely think that was among my biggest gripes with this movie, was just the overall tonal differences between this and the first one, because I felt that in certain respects, I felt that it did better than the first one, but in other respects, I felt that the first one was a more solid horror film overall.
Literally the only thing I think this movie did better than the first one is the exposition for the killer.
And the chemistry between the two main characters.
Well, yes, true, but...
But that for me is that's a huge thing.
See,
In a character piece like this, it's kind of important.
I think... I agree with you, but at the same time, I also didn't really find the female actress, I forget her name, I didn't find her character likable. So therefore, I found
it was definitely... She definitely had some flaws in the fact that she was basically just exploiting these people for the sake of... I don't know if it was a college project or what.
Personality-wise, I thought she was boring. I don't give a shit about...
I mean, so was Aaron, though.
But
in the first movie.
Yeah, but he was... As touched on in the first movie, he was just
more
such a genuinely good guy.
That's
that
fair.
You gotta root for him.
Okay.
And I love my morally gray characters. You know I do.
Yeah.
She didn't feel morally gray.
And that's
she just
totally
felt boring.
Fair. That's a fair judgment. I mean, I can't disagree. I can see where you're coming from, sure.
Also, the cinematography in this one, nowhere near as good as in the first one.
I agree. That is very true. The best way I can sum this movie up is this, is that you can tell the production quality definitely increased, but I felt, as a result, the effort decreased.
Yes, that is actually probably the perfect
Mark Duplass is still amazing. He does a great job. He's still totally in character. And
Oh, yeah, no, his acting was incredible.
The opening scene of this movie is hilarious, and it's weird to say it considering he's a serial killer, but, I had the biggest grin on my face the second he enters the first scene of the movie. It's just so funny, and he's so charming. The fucking little wave he gives and blows a kiss to the camera, that's amazing. I love the character. And I want to see more of him.
Oh, no, so do I.
I love the character of just the creep. While, like I said, he still is totally on his game, the rest of the film definitely felt like it slipped a bit.
Yes.
In terms,
wholeheartedly.
Yeah, no, it definitely felt in terms of effort, it felt like it took its slight decline. That being said, I am going to rate it the same as the first one. I'm going to say that Creep 2 is solid.
Creep 1, I said it was a solid verging on a must-see.
Okay.
This I'm going to say is a solid verging on a meh. It was good. I mean, if you like the first one, you should definitely watch it.
I agree with that.
So maybe even good for fans of Creep.
Hey, I mean, that's totally fair.
But the first one was unlike anything I'd ever seen, to be honest.
Fair.
And the second one kind of felt like run by the numbers for me.
Okay, that's a fair assessment. I don't necessarily agree that it was run by the numbers, but I feel that it improved on some of the things from the first one, and it detracted from some of the things I liked about the first one, and overall that just kind of equated to a zero sum, and I'm going to say it's pretty much the same exact thing as the first, and I'm going to say it's solid.
Which is creepier? Clean-shaven Joseph or man-bun hipster-looking Aaron?
Ooh. That's a really tough question, actually. Because he's creepy as fucking both, but in different ways.
Yes, I agree with you.
And I would take... I'm going to say Joseph, because to me, the unpredictability of mania is far more unsettling than the I'm going to kill myself depression.
Yeah, agreed.
As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. He and I are going to be hanging tomorrow. We're going to review some more stuff, so...
Holiday breaks.
Holiday breaks.
I get to come back.
Yay! Thanks so much for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, exciting to be back in the Spacement. I really am genuinely happy to be here.
With these two fucking stuffed things for some reason.
Are you ready to go?
Wow, you're a tough nut to crack.